The next section we're going to enter is the upstream 30-foot offset section. And so to do that, we're going to go back to our DGN file. Right now we're looking at the survey data for the bridge survey. And what we want to do is we want to look at our geometry for our center line of our new roadway. So I'm going to go ahead and switch over to our geometry file. And once we have the file open, we have our center line right going through here, and then we have our two offset chains. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and rebuild these chains, because I just want to show you how I created them. So I'm just going to select them and delete them. And the tool that I used to create those chains was I went over to Task, my horizontal geometry tools, and then I went down to the one called Single Offset Entire Element. Okay? And so I'm going to offset this 30 foot, the center line, and I'm going to go ahead and mirror it. So now all it is asking for is locate the element. So I'm going to locate my center line chain. I'm going to go to the right, and then I'm going to mirror it, and then that's all you need to do to create those offsets. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to try to get the profile information of all three of these alignments and put that into the GeoHEC spreadsheet. Now, one thing you need to have is a terrain model that is kind of encompasses the area of those alignments. If your alignment goes outside the terrain model, you won't get any profile information for those areas. But with our data, it completely encompasses our three alignments. And so we're going to do the upstream 30-foot offset first. So I'm going to hit F4, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the alignment, and then I'm going to go open up its profile model. Now, if you have a terrain model and it's active, when you open up the profile model, you'll get the existing ground of that element, and that's what we got right there. And so all we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and export this profile information out via a report and then converting it to an Excel spreadsheet. So I'm going to click on it. I'm going to slide over to report. It's going to open up the following report. Now the point that I want to use is, I believe it's the one above it, which gives us the elevation and northing and easting information, which we want to bring into our GeoHEC spreadsheet. So I'm going to go ahead and convert this to an Excel spreadsheet by exporting it. And if we look at our spreadsheet, you'll notice that our spreadsheet is in the order of point name, northing, easting, and elevation. And so if we look back at the Excel spreadsheet, we don't have any point name information, which is not a big deal because it's not required in the spreadsheet for it to work. But I'd like to have it in the order of northing, easting, and then elevation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this column and just move it over to there. Now that I got the information in that order, I'm going to go ahead and select it and bring it into the spreadsheet. Now, one thing I want to point out, this report, for whatever reason, lists the points or the information twice. So we got this information, which is identical to this information. Then we got this information, which is identical to this information, and it just continues on down. But again, that is not a big issue with this spreadsheet, because the spreadsheet will first look for duplicates and then remove those duplicates. And then also, we've got a problem with lines in here, but again, the spreadsheet will remove any blank lines up to 5 lines in a row. So I'm just going to go ahead and select the data. And there it is. I'm going to copy it. Again, we're starting with the northing. If I go back to my spreadsheet, 30-foot offset upstream, I'm going to go into the first row of this section. I'm going to go to the northing, and I'm going to go ahead and paste it in there. Now again, if we click on the invert button or the visualize button, what it's going to do is it's going to go through first and check for duplicates, and then also remove any blank spaces. So I'm just going to go ahead and visualize the upstream section. You can see how it's put in there. I'm going to go ahead and return to the main page. Okay, Now we're going to enter the station value for this upstream 30-foot offset section. And so I'm going to go back to MicroStation. And so what we're going to do is we're going to get the station value of the stream bed where that intersection is between the upper 30-foot offset section and the stream bed. So I'm going to go to my Civil AccuDraw, turn on Civil AccuDraw. I've got the station offset option turned on. I'm going to go to a horizontal tool. Any old horizontal tool will work. You'll see when you come out that you have the station offset information on your cursor, but we need to let it know what chain we want the station value to be based off of as well as that offset. So I'm going to hit O. I'm going to try to select the stream bed, and when I pull away from it, you can see that it is pulling the stream bed information from there. And so to get that intersection point, I'm going to make sure I have my snap mode is on intersect, which it is. I'm going to zoom in to the intersection point. And so you can see the value there. It's 35 plus 27.78. So that's the value you're going to want to put in that section station value for the upstream 30-foot offset section. So we're going to go ahead and type that in. That's 35 plus 27.78. Okay, so that's all there is to entering the data into the upstream 30-foot offset section.